Right, you lot, forget your rusty tractors and your granddad's old plough. This is the 21st century and farming's gone properly mental. We're talking machines so big, so clever and so downright brilliant, they'll make your wellies wobble. We've got contraptions here that could harvest a field of cabbages before you can say Richard Hammond's crashed again, and things that'll clean a mountain of sugar beets faster than you can neck a pint down the pub. So buckle up, butter your crumpets and prepare to be amazed. This is a high-octane, turbocharged, horsepower-heavy look at the agricultural machines that are changing the world, 1 hectare at a time. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single glorious second of it. Now, some of you might think that harvesting cabbages is a tedious, back-breaking chore. Well, you're right, it bloody well is, or at least it was, until this beast came along. Behold, the Cabbage Harvester 5000. Okay, I made that name up, but this thing deserves a title that screams power and efficiency. Look at it, gobbling up those cabbages like a teenager in a pie-eating contest. And the speed. This machine can clear an entire field in an hour, which is more than you can say for Hammond trying to park a combine harvester. It's precise, it's relentless, and it leaves nothing but neatly chopped cabbage in its wake. Honestly, it's enough to make a chap consider taking up farming. Almost. Have you ever seen a pile of sugar beets fresh out of the ground? They're filthy, but fear not, the BR2000 has cracked it. This is a cleaning machine on steroids. It gives them a spa day that would make the Queen jealous. They come out sparkling like a new pin. Right, you see that tree over there? Needs to come down, but it's right next to a building. Bit of a sticky wicket, isn't it? Not for the lumberjack LJ450 though. This isn't some bloke with a chainsaw and a prayer. This, my friends, is a precision instrument. This machine is to tree surgery what a scalpel is to a butcher's cleaver. It can take down a tree branch by branch, bit by bit, without so much as scratching the paintwork on your nan's Mini Cooper parked underneath. Imagine trying to do that with a regular chainsaw. You'd be lucky not to take out the entire street, let alone a single car. The Lumberjack LJ450 though, it's got this whole delicate touch thing down pat. Brilliant bit of kit. Cables, the bane of any right-thinking person's existence. They're always in the way, tangled up like spaghetti on a builder's radio, and trying to clear them normally involves more ladders than a game of snakes and ladders, but not anymore. Oh no, not with this beast of a machine. This, my friends, is the cable clearing machine. It straddles the cables, you see, like a mechanical spider doing parkour, and then it just trundles along, gobbling up all the debris in its path. Branches, leaves, even the odd discarded Tesco sandwich bag. This thing doesn't discriminate. It's like a Roomba for power lines, but 1,000 times more badass. No more dangerous climbs, no more power outages, just pure, unadulterated cable clearing power. So you've got yourself a poultry farm, have you? Chickens clucking, feathers flying, the whole farmyard symphony. But keeping those birds healthy, now that's a job and a half, isn't it? Well, fret no more, because here comes the Robot XO. This isn't some glorified egg collector, oh no. This is a state-of-the-art, chicken-whispering marvel of modern science. It can analyze the environment for any nasty bacteria, making sure those chickens are breathing nothing but the freshest air. And speaking of fresh, this thing can even disinfect the entire coop. It's like sending your chickens to a spa day, but without the cucumber water and whale music. The Robot XO is like having a 24/7 health inspector on your payroll. Only without the clipboard and the condescending tone. Right, you know those tiny country lanes farmers have to navigate, the ones where even a Mini Cooper looks like an obese walrus trying to squeeze through a cat flap. But fear not, my friends, for some genius has invented the turnaround machine. You drive on, spin around, and off you pop in the opposite direction. And best of all, no more missing tea time. Now, chemical weed killers aren't exactly environmentally friendly. They poison the water table and harm wildlife. Enter the Siumoni, the eco-friendly hero. It uses hot foam instead of poison. The foam suffocates and zaps the weeds, and it's harmless to the environment. Well, except for the weeds, they don't fare so well. Let's face it, farming is not for the faint of heart. It's tough, dirty work, and it takes a certain breed of person to do it. Someone with grit and determination. But even the toughest farmer needs help with Mother Nature's surprises. Take uneven terrain, for instance. That's where the rotary stick comes in. This machine levels out bumps, making life easier. The end result is a perfectly smooth, level field, ready for planting. Right then, you lot, forget your sports cars and your fancy electric Watsits. This, ladies and gents, is a proper bit of kit. This, my friends, is a John Deere wheat harvester, and it's not messing about. A symphony in green and yellow. We're talking serious horsepower here, people. This beast can harvest a staggering 100 tons of wheat per hour. So there you have it, the John Deere Wheat Harvester. Bloody brilliant. Now, you might think that after the John Deere, things can't get any more. Well, my friend, you'd be wrong. Up next, we have a machine so versatile, it makes a Swiss Army knife look like a blunt spoon. This is the 3-in-1 tilling machine. It tills furrows and drills holes for seeding, all in one go. No need for 3 different machines clogging up your farmyard. The 3-in-1 tilling machine, proof that you can have your cake and eat it. Top Gear approves. Forget your fancy cocktails and overpriced lattes. We're talking serious spraying power now. This is the agricultural equivalent of a jumbo jet, the large spraying machine. And it's not mucking about, with 2 enormous arms spanning 190 feet, 50 times the reach of a garden hose. Perfectly even mist. Faster than you can say pesticides. It's here to revolutionize farming. Bigger is definitely better. Forget your Range Rovers and your fancy sports cars. This machine deserves a round of applause. With its whirling blades and conveyor belts, it's more entertaining than watching paint dry. It makes short work of an entire field, gathering enough leaves to keep tea drinkers happy. In the world of agriculture, it's a masterpiece. Now, you might think that after all the drama of the tea leaf harvester, things would slow down, but you'd be wrong. The young leaves are the most prized. They make the most delicate and refreshing brew. How do they separate these precious leaves with this complicated machine? It's like a coin sorter, but for tea leaves. Proof that in tea, size really does matter. All right, enough with the tea. Let's talk nuts. Today's nutty topic is almonds and how they get from the tree to your granola. Almond harvesting is a lot of shaking and catching. This is the almond collector, shaking trees to collect almonds. It's like a one-armed bandit in reverse, yielding a bumper crop. Right, you wouldn't believe the palaver these farmers go through just to get seeds in the ground. It's back-breaking, tedious work, honestly. But not anymore. Oh no, not with this bit of kit. This, my friends, is a seed distributor, and it's about as exciting as watching paint dry, but 10 times more efficient. See, this machine takes all the guesswork out of planting, no more wonky rows or uneven spacing. This baby ensures every single seed is perfectly placed, maximizing yield and minimizing wasted space. It's like having a robotic army of gardeners working tirelessly to ensure your crops are planted with military precision. Frankly, it's a bit dull to watch, isn't it? But that's the beauty of it. It just gets on with the job, quietly and efficiently, like a well-oiled tractor or a reasonably priced German saloon car. Remember Tetris, that game where you fit those oddly shaped blocks together? Well, this is Tetris for grown-ups. Instead of blocks, we've got bales of dry grass. This machine picks up and stacks them neatly. It's mesmerizing. No more backaches for the worker. They can finally relax while the machine does the work. We all love a juicy strawberry, don't we? But those little red devils are more high maintenance than a supermodel on a private jet. One minute they're blossoming, the next they're being devoured by bugs and blighted by diseases. But fear not, strawberry lovers, because this, my friends, is a tunnel sprayer. This ingenious contraption is like a mobile car wash for strawberries, only instead of soap and water, it's spraying a cocktail of pesticides and fungicides. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pesticides, aren't those bad? Well, yes and no. Used responsibly, they protect our crops from the things that want to eat them, meaning we get to enjoy delicious strawberries all year round. This machine ensures those pesticides are applied evenly and efficiently, minimizing waste and maximizing strawberry deliciousness. It's a win-win, really, except for the bugs, obviously. Right then, you lot, have a look at this. It's an orange cleaner, and let me tell you, it doesn't mess about. First, those oranges get chucked in like it's a rugby scrub. Spinning brushes give them a proper scrub. Then lasers and sensors inspect them. Anything green gets the boot. Finally, they're polished and packed neatly into boxes. Now, some of you might fancy yourselves a bit of a lumberjack, but let's be honest, most of you would probably end up taking out the garden shed. That's where this bad boy comes in, the branch trimming machine. This thing's got more arms than an octopus in a knitting shop, and each one's packing a sword that'd make Edward Scissorhands jealous. It can reach up higher than a giraffe on stilts. No more messing about with ladders and risking life and limb. This machine's got it covered. Have you ever watched those strongman competitions where they have to lift giant hay bales? Thankfully, someone's invented a machine that makes that back-breaking task a walk in the park, the grass roll elevator. This ingenious contraption is essentially a giant forklift for hay bales. It swoops in, scoops up those hefty rolls of grass like they weigh nothing. This machine does all the hard work for you, leaving you free to relax. Right, so you've grown your carrots. Good for you. You've managed to avoid turning them into soup with your wellies on. This is a food portion distributor. It's serious about getting your produce packed and ready to shift. Weighing, sorting and divvying up with precision, ensuring everyone gets a fair share. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. We've all been there. You've spent months nurturing your crops, then disaster strikes, your irrigation system decides to throw a wobbly. Feast your eyes on this, an irrigation system restorer. This mechanical marvel can bring your leaky pipes back from the dead. It sniffs out leaks and blockages like a bloodhound. No more digging up your entire field. This machine does all the hard work for you. Let's be honest, nobody likes bugs. Well, apart from maybe those blokes who study them, but for the rest of us, they're a nuisance. And when it comes to your crops, they're a menace. But fear not, because the Arbus 4000 is here to save the day. This is a high-powered, insecticide-spraying, bug-zapping weapon of mass extermination. It's the only thing standing between you and a whole lot of heartache. Right, you see that monstrous oak over there? Trunk thicker than Hammond after a Christmas feast. Well, imagine wanting to move it. You could bring in this, my friends, is the large tree remover. Clamps on, a little wiggle, and bam! It's like pulling a dandelion out of soggy ground. Hazelnuts, eh? Not the most exciting nut, are they? But let me tell you about the Monchiero hazelnut collector. It strides through the groves like a Ferrari on the autostrada, scooping up those little brown nuggets faster than Hammond can polish off a plate of biscuits, separating them from leaves and twigs with precision. No more back-breaking labor for Farmer Giles. He can sit back, pour himself a glass of vino, and watch the Monchiero do all the hard work. Weeding, the bane of every gardener's existence. It's tedious, back-breaking, and boring. But fear not, weary weed warriors, for salvation is at hand. Behold the weed removal robot. Like a Roomba for your crops, it's out for sap. Using cameras, sensors, and a precise robotic arm, it eradicates weeds with ruthless efficiency. Your fields will look pristine while you enjoy a well-deserved pint. Right, you see that patch of dirt over there? Looks like nothing's going on, doesn't it? Well, underneath that barren wasteland lies a network of root, tougher than a week-old baguette and twice as stubborn. That, my friends, is where this beast comes in. They call it the double spade machine, though I reckon Root Obliterator has a better ring to it. Imagine two giant spades whirling around like a carnival ride gone mad, ripping and tearing through those pesky roots like they were mere strands of spaghetti. It's the agricultural equivalent of a heavyweight boxing match, and trust me, the roots don't stand a chance. This machine doesn't negotiate, it doesn't compromise, it simply obliterates anything in its path. Now that's what I call a proper bit of kit. Let's be honest, nobody enjoys picking blueberries. It's a tedious, back-breaking chore. But fear not, the future of berry picking is here. This blueberry picking robot is a marvel of engineering. It never complains, never takes a break, and never asks for a raise. Well, there you have it, a glimpse into the future of farming. From root-ripping behemoths to delicate berry-picking bots, these machines are changing the face of agriculture, 1 hectare at a time. And who knows what other marvels await us in the years to come. Self-driving tractors that can make a decent cuppa, robotic sheep shearers with a better sense of style than a Savile Row tailor. One thing's for sure, the future of farming is going to be fascinating.